Tech issues will not stop us today. We are back into PUBG Mobile, and we're underway with our first map. It's a wrangle, and we are ready to get roaring.
Yeah, jumping it straight into the action. We do have TeamSouL Mortal looting up. He's got a few guns in his backpack. He got a level 2 helmet as well. And there we go. This is what we want to see here, John. We do have the minimap up there. The flight path is all the way from the bottom of Military Island south, all the way up the middle of the map towards north. And we can see Team India. We spoke about this earlier. They like playing towards military base, but they this time around might have some action against Team Pain.
Yeah, it looks like Pain dropped over towards Novo, so they're going to be looting up the compounds around military. We've seen this before. A lot of teams have been back and forth and gone to that Novo location, and those compounds are around. And Team India, they've just been able to rotate around, get control of those bridges. I'm interested at the moment in that center part of the map towards Pochinki. There's a lot of different teams that we're seeing that we haven't seen before go to that sort of location. You can see 8-Bit over towards the north. They've been pushed out of Pochinki, which is very, very unlikely because guess who's there? It's TeamSouL.
It is TeamSouL indeed. They're smack in the center of the map, right next to school, if I'm not very much mistaken here. And they would be the one team everyone would be looking to avoid at the moment. There we go, Team India towards military base. We see Trans running around on the rooftop, looking to find some of the tasty loot. His teammates all around him as well. And we can see Ronak, he's on top. He can actually take the shot here. He spots out a player. He's not going to give it away. He's playing the smart. Like we mentioned earlier, John, if you're the favorites here, you don't want to give any information to your opponents.
No, certainly not. Would be very, very difficult towards Rostock. Ready to go. He's going to go for the shot. Going to land it. Already gets the knockdown onto Frost. The Brawlers, they are taking some early casualties.
The crowd loves it, and that's going to be Frost down. You see his teammates coming in to try and rest him, but he's all alone. And it is going to be Iconic, who has made his way pretty close by Frost, staying alive here. The question is, where are the rest of the TeamSouL players? I can't see anyone here in the vicinity, but Ronak, he's in such a great spot.
He has got the overwatch. He is pretty isolated from the rest of his team. They're just a little bit southeast for the moment, but with the control of the high ground, with the control of the hill, they can just rotate in if he needs the help.
And he's all alone. We can see Doc and Iconic making their way to help their teammate who has been downed. And would you have thought of this? TeamSouL facing off against Brawlers early on, the first fight of the tournament. And we can see Ronak, he's going to reposition himself. That is smart from him, because they do obviously know where he is. And it looks like Doc will be able to res Frost. You still don't see any player from TeamSouL backing up the teammates.
So what this says to me at the moment is that TeamSouL, they know they've done the damage. They've already got a knock onto one of the top players in the tournament. Remember, Frost, 33 kills in the semi-finals. And he is now, so he's now managed to get up. He will get healed through, but that's going to deplete armor. That's going to deplete meds. And we know how impactful those can be towards the late game.
And especially against one of the tournament favorites, Team Brawlers. So I think TeamSouL's going to be pretty happy with the way that one played out. Team 8-Bit, we saw these guys. We saw their interview. A bunch of lovely, well, I think it was a mixture of very young players and some people who were a little bit older than them. I really liked that interview as well. And they're going to be going towards Watertown. But then we have Mr. Cartoons, a pretty popular player in the scene.
Yeah, heavy fragger, one of the top scorers in the tournament right now, playing for, of course, Team Insidious. They're going to be making a little bit of a bid towards, they are just moving over towards North George at this point, but everyone on that military island is going to start to have to shift on up. Of course, we've got TeamSouL straight in the middle, trying to zone out Roshok, but I'm really looking at Team India and Team Pain over on the south there, because they are going to be clashing around this bridge.
It should be happening right now, if I'm very much not mistaken. They're looking to cross over to the bridge, and right now, bridge control is with Team India. I don't think anyone else have they been spotted out is the question. We really don't know for sure, but if you look at the minimap, Team India are crossing the bridge right now, and it looks like there won't be any fight taking place here. There we go. They have the UAZs. We have Scout crossing the bridge alongside Kratos.
So I love how they're doing this. You can see what they're doing. They're moving their players forwards. They're dropping a player off. They're moving the players up the back. They're caterpillar tracking over the bridge. This gives you perfect cover and the perfect capability to move whilst taking a fight.
Indeed, and Team Pain, I do believe they would have spotted Team India crossing the bridge here. And they are instead going to be making their way towards the second bridge, the mini bridge, as some people like to call it. And they will be crossing on over where there isn't really one they're going to be facing off against here. But a few bullets getting rattled off here. Although, that being said, not much damage being dealt out.
This is over on the southeast, just to the north of Farm. It's Godlike trying to hold it down. They are just inside the circle at the moment, so they're just spiking out from this building. They're spiking out from their compound because, of course, we know how India likes to play around these compounds. So if you can control it, you need to just be telling people, hey, I'm here, don't come here, we've already got control.
And speaking of Team Godlike, this is not the old Godlike which we saw in the qualifiers. This is Team ISO, who's been picked up. Shots getting rattled off by Aladdin. He won't really do much damage there.
Yeah, again, it's just posturing. It's just telling people where you are, that you are here, and that you've claimed this location, which makes it less likely that teams are going to come for you, less likely to fight, less likely to go out early, and more likely to get those points on board.
Indeed, and if you look at the south of the first circle, it's looking a little messy. We do have Team Entity Gaming, we have Team India, we have Team RIP, all in each other's vicinity, and things could get very... Look at that, look at the center of the map there. That could get very, very messy indeed. We do see the observers zooming in, and TeamSouL, they haven't moved, they haven't budged yet so far.
Ooh, look at this. So yeah, but well, you say that, one of their players, Ronak, moving up. We saw how he was a scout before, taking on the Brawlers, and they are moving up, they're chasing it, but Orb could be crashing as well from Yasnaya.
This could get messy indeed. Orb is on a trajectory course to face off against Team 4. I'm not able to see the name there. Which team that is? Team number 4.
That's the Brawlers.
Okay, so Brawlers, and this could get messy. They saw manage to sneak their way through, however, and that's great for them, but this is interesting. Everyone's kind of gathering together, reading the circle, and that's great for them. There's got to be a lot of action taking place at the edge of that circle, and there we go. Shots getting rattled off already.
This next circle is actually really huge because it's split right down the middle by the central river. The water, the tip of the lake towards Yasnaya is outside of the next circle. Teams are going to have to make a choice. Do we cross up north? Do we go early and try and find it? Straight slap bang in the middle, very near to 8-bit here. We see the first airdrop coming on in. Of course, MK14, a pretty chunky DMR.
Pretty chunky DMR indeed. Meantime, Team India, they're taking the fight here. Long distance duels, and like you mentioned, I do believe this is basically posturing. They don't really have the scopes or the weaponry to really go for the kill shots, but a lot of bullets getting rattled out, and you can see Team DAKU in that UAZ, they will manage to not really take too much damage. And like you said, John, this is about the teams kind of announcing their presence over here. And Team India, like you mentioned, they are a team who love taking the fights.
Yeah, and you can see as well, they're playing around terrain. That's exactly what I said I wanted to see from these teams, adapting to a different style of play that can really, really impact here. So not too surprised to not see anyone going down just yet. We're still only in phase 2. We're just having a little bit of a chill out time. 63 players alive. I'm not too sure. I don't think we've seen any kills going through.
Did we see anyone die?
I don't think I did. Maybe it was someone didn't load in or someone crashed out. But again, just
drive-bys
coming through. This is huge south of shooting range.
Oh, they're just going for it. Team India, they are chasing down Team RIP. As Kratos, is he going to stick with his teammate? Yes, he is. They're not really go for the full commit, but they will be able to make their way into the circle where they're going to just hold the line here. Make life very, very uncomfortable for Team DAKU.
Again, people just posturing a lot of the time. That's what we're seeing time and time again. It's not really going for those fights. They're just trying to play that isolation game, play against their meds, play against their armor, and try and shred them down that way.
Indeed, we do have TeamSouL's Oasis, another very, very popular player in the scene, and then of course Brawlers. They did have to suffer a little bit of casualty early on. This could get very tight indeed.
I think they're right next to Insidious here, but with HYDRA breathing down their necks as well. They're going to have to go for the fight. Spraying it on down. Iconic looking to land the damage. He's getting some flak chucked back his way, but HYDRA managed to scoot on by. Not too much damage found either.
That was so risky. That was so risky. That could be Team HYDRA getting wiped out early on right there, at least losing a couple of players, but they will survive. And now Brawlers, they might have to reposition because now they know where they are as Team INS. They're getting pressurized here. They are being trapped inside those houses.
Insidious, they have the look down. They can flush out the back. They do have the vehicles to rotate away, so they should be okay in this situation. But they've got the Indian Tigers as well to worry about coming in terms of this situation. The Brawlers, though, they are a broadside on an open hill.
That is pretty ballsy from them, just standing out there in the open. And here's an interesting fact I've noticed so far is the fact that the earliest... Oh, there we go. DAKU's Lancer has been taken down.
There was a little bit of a mishap there in the vehicles, I think.
Fight taking place of Brawlers. They're still duking it up with Insidious. It's interesting. Brawlers, HYDRA, TeamSouL, and Insidious are the 4 teams, the 4 favorites, so to speak, who have actually seen action so far.
Well, it's not surprising. They're taking some of the best positions in the circle. They all think that they deserve it. They all think they can go for it. They might be right, but they are going to come up against some stiff competition when it comes to each other. Next shift is in, and it is heavily northeast. Well,
Team HYDRA. Team HYDRA, they survived that run, and now they're in a very, very good position here.
Yeah, Insidious as well. They're in a decent spot, but they have to move past the Brawlers. The Megastars, they started in Saki, and they've barely had to move at this stage. They're going to be pretty chuffed to bits with that one. Orb as well, they're going to take that northern flank. So a decent position from them, but they will have to fight out from the coast, which is pretty tricky. There's not a lot of cover.
We do have a Team DAKU player who was taken down, but he has, of course, been res, so far no casualties. I'm still a little surprised why we do have 63 alive.
Oh, look at this eastern cluster. There's so many teams just moving in.
I do believe you're going to be having a zoom in coming in. Team Evil, Evil big fellas, they are lagging a little bit behind, and they're in for a rough spot here. Whichever direction they come in into that circle, there's going to be someone waiting for them, especially DAKU, who have found themselves in a pretty good spot here.
You can see the Brawlers as well. They've moved up towards the north alongside Orb, and everyone's trying to get that western side of the circle because you're fighting with your backs against the wall. It makes it a lot easier. You're fighting on one front. You just chuck your lead in one direction, and people are going to catch it.
Team India, though, they're not looking to progress any further into the circle. They have found safety. Tigers getting shot at. Bullets just whizzing past Mavi, who will survive. So far, I think everyone has been lucky with driving around those cars and those Jeeps and the UAZs and not really getting knocked out.
Yeah, I'm really pleased to see as well they've started to everybody has started to go for the convoy style rotations. But in we go, Jesse. Looking for the spray with the DP, but he gets shut down. Tempest flicks it up.
And he does have his teammate coming in. Oh no!
Oh, no, Spike!
He's still there. He's still sticking around.
Oh no, he's down the side. I don't think there's any coming back from that one. Spike's down the cliff.
Oh, this is rough for RIP. They're hunting down these players. Tempest, he's not budging here. He's not taking any chances whatsoever. And we do see a player down there. He hasn't spotted him out yet. And there he is. He has been taken out. I think that's the first player taken out off the game here.
Yeah, we've got 61 players remaining now. Spike trapped down the bottom of the cliff. He's going to have to go for a huge rotation to be able to get anywhere where he can climb back up. That pretty much spells doom for the Evil Big Fellas.
He's got time, though. He's got time. The circle is definitely favoring him here. The problem is there any place for him to really crawl up?
That's the thing. There's very, very few places. I think he might just be able to get up there, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, 8-Bit are clashing with Entity over on the southeastern side of the circle.
Oh, my lord.
They're taking a lot of heavy casualties.
I think Entity are out.
They're certainly gone down a lot of players. They might have left someone somewhere else on the map. We're still seeing 16 teams alive. There he goes, Team India.
Yeah, Entity Gaming have only one player left in the running. It's Deja Vu, who is far, far away from all the action, but Entity under a very rough spot indeed. And there we go. Ooh, that's a loud shot right there, the M24.
Yeah, the long shots, they are not really going to be super impactful in terms of actually wiping a team. You're getting those headshots, and you're trying to make it happen that way, and that's going to mean that you're just trying to take away their head armor. As soon as you get rid of that helmet, those UMPs start to come into play because they are so damaging at those close ranges.
And if you look at the players who have been taken out of the server, Entity Gaming, 3 players down already. For the favorites, though, the usual suspects, TeamSouL, for example, you have Insidious, we have all these guys, they have everyone still alive and kicking, so they're in a pretty good spot here. But Entity Gaming, they're looking rough.
Rip at the moment on the northern side of the next shift on the circle. Another M249 dropping in just to the south of shooting range. In contestation from HYDRA, Brawlers, and Team India. This is a hugely valuable crate, but at the moment, HYDRA, they're going to be rolling straight on through the Brawlers, trying to get a position in the next circle.
And Team India, they're right on it. They're on it. They're on it. They're going to be going for this. Like we see the UAZ. Are they going to go for it?
They're changing out. They're going for something different this time around.
Scouts picked it up. Scouts picked it up. I do believe.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get that one on board, the M249.
They're not getting contested, by the way. No one's really going to be fighting for this. And this is one thing I really like about Team India. They are not afraid going for this fight. They're not afraid going for this risky plays. In the meantime, Tempest, he's getting shot at.
They have control of this cover here, which is really strong. You can't really fight towards it. It's very difficult because they can just pop up, they can third person over the top of it, and as soon as you move around, as soon as you're in the open, that's your head gone like that. Lickety split.
And Tempest being smart, they're ensuring that vehicle cannot be used for a quick getaway by any of their opposing teams. And bear in mind, Spike is still alive. He's still somewhere there on the beach.
They are trying to get it done, see how long they can play. 16 teams still remaining. Evil big fellas trying to blow up their vehicles and emptying a whole DP into it.
I mean,
taking a couple of shots over from DAKU as well. as they contest it out. Of course, if you blow up those vehicles first, that means that the enemy won't be able to blow them up whilst you're using them as cover, which will just take you out.
Absolutely. So they are already planning and setting up for the end game. It's going to be Aladdin from Godlike getting taken down by Brawlers. Not sure where that's taking place. In the meantime, Team India, they're facing up against Team Pain, and everyone's kind of out in the open. You just have the rocks and those trees to have some cover. We see 2 players from Pain with that smoke to kind of keep Team India at bay, and it's going to be Scout who's going to take down Hitman with that M4 of his. And Team India, they've been doing quite a bit of damage here.
Yeah, of course. They've been guarding this southwestern side at the moment. RIP official are going to have to move down at some point away from this coastline as well on these rotations, but we are coming closer to the ever-present phase 5. Absolute bloodbaths about to ensue.
I love bloodbaths.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little mellow that way. Anyway, we do have, I believe, he's been knocked out. And the car hasn't exploded. I do believe it exploded, and the shots being dealt out by Daljitsky. Not able to quite land it though, but oh, he's down. He's down for the count. He has been kissed goodnight, and Ninja out in the open. He's been knocked out as well. This is looking so terrible for the team.
These southern teams are going to have to spread out wide as well. You can see they're filtering through, but at the moment, Team India have the stranglehold on this southwestern side of the circle. The next pop, it's going to dictate where they're going to go, but the Indian Tigers are sat so pretty, just right slap bang in the middle, and no one can really push up to them. Team India, they're going for the sprayed out dog, under fire at the moment. Kratos only able to get a little bit of damage, not going to be able to get it done for now, but the rest of the team's there to back him up.
Oh my lord, look at the circle as well. That is going to end on the western side of the current circle, and I think only one team, I think HYDRA is going to be feeling pretty comfortable about this, Tigers as well, but the rest of the team, they're going to have to make a move because they're quite a distance away. And already, I wasn't expecting this many, I wouldn't say casualties, but this much of friction between the teams taking place so early in the game.
No one wants to go for the full squad wipe just yet, but at the moment it looks like Pain are going to be under the cosh from Cartoons and the rest of Insidious as well. They're dropping down the smokes, giving themselves a little bit more cover as they do need to push up north. They do need to get to that next circle. Who's going to be the first to go out as we do see phase 5 starting to close?
Team India could be the proverbial wall here because they have made their way to the circle. Are they going to go any further is the question, because if they remain there, things are going to get very uncomfortable for Insidious and Pain.
Here come the nades. Here comes the barrage. It's in. It's deadly. Are they going to be able to find anything? Not quite. Able to land one through the window, but the vehicle will go down, and that's going to leave Pain in a really tricky spot.
Indeed, the boat trapped inside. They don't know what to do here. In the meantime, action takes place all over the map here. Here comes Insidious, pushing in. They're pushing in. And Pain, one man down, just one player left inside. Hitman, he's got all the pressure on him.
He's right through the door.
Trying to get lucky here, and he's going to get taken down. And there you have it. Pain getting knocked out. Do they have any more players alive? I don't think so. That's it. They're out of running in this game.
Pain eliminated. They go down in 16th. The first elimination here at the India Finals. That's not going to sit pretty with them. They'll have to pick it up for the next game.
Meanwhile, Team India, they have 2 kills already on their belt as they are holding down the line here.
Another team out. I'm not too sure who that was, but this is the phase 5 that we like to see. Teams are starting to drop left and right. 8-bit taking a lot of heavy casualties there. Pain Retribution, you can see, eliminated first there. The Brawlers taking some damage as well. It is back and forth as 44 players remain alive.
I did say I wanted to see some chaos. This is absolute chaos. Bloody chaos. As you can see, Orb, they're still somehow alive. I've seen quite a number of Orb players getting knocked down, but they will survive it now. Soul comes into play. Viper is just decimating everyone. Immortal's out.
He's down.
He smoked himself off, though. He can get res by his teammates.
Yeah, he's going to move to this next rock as well. That's going to give them the slip, potentially, if they try and throw in some nades. Insidious trying to control this southern hillside at the moment. You can see they're sneaky snaking around, trying to get some position, but Team India are right in their way.
Oh, Ted. Ted, you got to run, Ted. Scout wrapped on shot in the smoke, and Ted somehow still alive. I don't know how, but he is. Barely, though, and he's getting sprayed in through the smoke. He's somehow still alive, though. But time is not his friend. The circle is definitely shrinking.
They are starting to push on in the next circle about the pop. This shift is going to be brutal. Oh, ho, ho. Southeast, hard shift. Orb, HYDRA, evil big fellas with their last remaining player as well. They're all going to have to go for it. Actually, Spike, I think he managed to find his way up.
Mortal's dead, by the way. Mortal's out.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. So 3 players remaining, and Viper!
Oh, Viper!
Oh! That's just complete decimation. That's the thing with this team. You might have your star player out, but everyone else are more than capable of holding their own.
From the grass, the Viper strikes, takes down the enemy team. They will be able to hold for now. They still have 11 teams to go through as they are getting whittled away. Team India trying to dissuade Team Insidious from moving up on this southern side, but everybody at their back is just begging to try and take the position. Trance lands a shot onto King. Spike gets spotted out. Last player for Evil Big Fellas trying to snake his way in. He's going to get shot down. Oh, he's gone. And within the Evil Big Fellas.
Great control from Trance there. Just calm under pressure. He knew there were bullets whizzing past him, but he didn't bother. He went for the kill as well. King is crawling around, somehow still very much alive, but the circle is shrinking, and this is getting very, very rough for everyone here.
Everybody needs to start to condense now. We've only seen a shrink down to 10 squads, which means that this is a very, very dense final stages of this circle. Phase 6 closing in is going to push that down very, very quickly.
Oh my lord, they're actually driving across this late in the game. That is high-risk play from Team Orb. Will they survive this question? And look at Away snaking around in the smoke, still very much in the game. And look at how close everyone is. Orb, they have no idea they're sandwiched in between two teams.
They're trying to take down the Indian Tigers, but that's going to be Entity going down in the mix of things. Insidious controlling this hillside now. They're starting to do a lot of work. Team India getting pressured on by the Brawlers as well.
Oh, and Team Tigers, Siam, 2 quick knockouts. And Tigers are in a rough spot indeed. Insidious, they're in a very good spot here.
Rip official at that back as well against the Indian Tigers. TeamSouL are in the mix in that area on the northern side of the map. So they'll be looking to take control. We're down to 8 squads as HYDRA hits the deck and Kratos takes the punishment.
Kratos might be the god of war here, but this is rough. And oh no, God kill, gets taken down, but the trades are good. Somehow, they're still in contention here, but Team India, they're making things very rough for HYDRA indeed. Team India out of nowhere. They might be gone here.
I think HYDRA are out.
15 players still alive. 6 teams remaining as we go into the final. I do believe this should be the final circle here.
1 player left for the Brawlers. Remember, the top placing team from the semi-finals. Frost, 33 kills in the semi-finals as well. If there's one player you want from that squad, it is this guy.
Team India have been knocked out. They got 5 kills to their credit, but now TeamSouL, despite losing Mortal early on, they are in a good spot. They have 3 players still alive, and Team Insidious, one of the other favorites as well. They're being the most consistent team throughout this entire tournament, and they have everyone alive here. There we go, Team Brawlers, 1 play kill status rather. Brawlers, Rip official, learn from past. TeamSouL with 9 kills, Jesus Christ, and Indian Tigers on 7.
That is absolutely huge. If TeamSouL were able to clinch this one out, they might be into an absolutely cracking start to the India finals. But the circle has shifted away from them. Nades out and let the pass go down.
LFP are down for the count as Team Tigers, they still have everyone alive. However, Insidious, they've spotted him out, and he's going to be rattling bullets at them. They do have cover in the form of that car and a couple of rocks.
Burns. He's just getting lit up. He's trying to find a little bit of cover. He's going to be able to pop the first aid, but he's pretty low on meds at this stage. You can see he's only got 3 boosters remaining. He hasn't got any stims on board yet either. The next zone, however, is moving towards Insidious. They should be able to hold control of this. The Indian Tigers, another team as well, with a shout into the zone, but Insidious are going to try and spike out sideways, but Burns gets eliminated.
What is going on? Tigers is somehow still clinging on here as Team RIP. How many players do they have remaining? I don't know. As bullets again.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Out in the open. And TeamSouL.
They continue to have dominance over the northern side of the map. Insidious are losing players though. They've already lost Burns and now Imazic's down as well. Smokey just holding back, trying to maintain a little bit of strength towards the rest of the circle. 4 teams left.
And Frost, 1 alone. He's all alone against the world. He's trying to stay alive for as long as possible.
Yeah. And
he is surrounded, however, no one knows where he is at the moment. You can see Magic making sure he's falling towards his teammate as TeamSouL takes out Cartoons and INS. Insidious have 2 players remaining alive, and all of a sudden TeamSouL are looking so good here.
TeamSouL have so many kills, they have so much pressure as well. Viper's down, but the Tigers cannot push onto his location just yet. Cartoons going down means that Smokey, the last remaining player for Insidious.
And so they are getting hunted up by the Tigers. The Tigers in the grass, burning bright, rattling up shots. Not quite able to find anyone though. And we can see Tigers, they have to go in for this. The circle is shrinking. They need to take the fight against TeamSouL. And here they come rattling in. Oh, Viper! He's been knocked out. How many players remain alive for TeamSouL is the question.
One up. He's going for the push. Carry, looking to go around out wide. Viper trying to turn out, but gets knocked in response. Ronak is there, and he gets taken down as well.
So what's going on? What is going on? Everyone's
Ronak!
down.
He's going off! He's taking carry down. He's holding up for Seoul, and they remain in the game.
That is insane from Ronak. He's going to res his team as well. Siam, though, is he going to go for the fight here is a question. He can push in right now, but if he delays it any more longer, Seoul's going to have another player up, and it's going to be Siam who's pushing it. He's going for the spray. He finds one, but two more players are barely alive. It's all on Siam for Tigers.
In the meantime, there's the Indian Tigers coming in. Seoul under pressure, but Oace and Ronak are there. They have pressure. It's 2 versus 2, but atop the hill, we have the Lone Ranger from the Brawlers.
5 players left alive. 5 players, and there's one guy floating around, not taking any fights. That is That's from Brawlers, Frost. And he's been playing this perfectly so far.
He's staying out of it. Don't fight, just win. That's all you need to do. At this stage, everybody's got huge numbers of points on, but at the moment, Seoul, they have so many frags. I'd love to see how many exactly they have, because it's got to be a huge number by now.
Double digits, for sure. Here we go, the Tiger Siam. He wants to get that kill. Is he going to be pushing in? He's edging around. Circle shrinking, making life rough for everyone here. Is he going to be going for this? Is the question. They're both just waiting for someone to make a move. Who's going to blink first?
This next circle is very, very kind to Frost as well. They're going to have to go up the hill.
There we go. The crowd's chanting for Ronak. What's he going to do, though? He's sneaking up in the smoke. Can he edge away? Can he make his way around Tiger's field of vision is a question, but Siam, he has his crosshair trained in a ways. He's ensuring no one escapes here without taking any damage.
The thing here for Seoul is they're getting pushed. They're not getting pushed by the circle. The Tigers are. Frost is still in the mix. He's just atop the hill. He doesn't need to go for the fight. This is super smart. The Tigers, they're getting pressured by the blue. They know that they have to breach the ridge, and when they do, Seoul can strike.
Look at Prince's positioning. He has the right angle. The second Seoul stands up to take a fight. They're going to get taken down. And Frost, look at the circle on him. He's got the perfect position. He just doesn't need to show himself. And Frost could pretty much win this all by his lonesome. He doesn't have to participate in this fight. Seoul and Tigers could take care of each other for him.
Third party, he comes up, he pops up, Frost goes for the knock, takes Siam down, now it's just Prince, but he's in the blue, he's taking damage, Frost, you need to move forwards,
hit
the deck,
he's right there,
oh no, look out, the ball is laid down, it's the fray, it's the fight, Prince is laid down, it's 1 versus 1, Ronak trying to take the fight with Prince pops up, Ronak goes for the spray, and the Tigers take it home!
Would you believe it, Tigers, amongst everyone else, they managed to clutch it out. Well played by Frost to come in third there, but my word, Tigers, what a well-played game.
That is incredible. They lost so many players early on, and Frost bided his time, but at the moment, Seoul, they went huge numbers of kills, a second place finish as well. I would not be surprised if they came top overall.
Insidious, though, they had such good positioning initially. They had all the 4 players live, unfortunately getting flanked. And Indian Tigers, man, I gotta give credit to these guys. They were taking those fights. They were not cowed down with the big names they're facing up against. What a performance from them, and what a start. Although, that being said, like you mentioned, TeamSouL, how many kills did they have at the end of the game?
I think we'll find out in just a moment if we get a look at the scoreboard towards the end there. But if you're Indian Tigers right now, this is how you wanted to start the tournament. Get into that final circle, make it happen. It was not up to them, and the key factor there, Frost. Frost popped up, shot one of the players down, and kicked off. He was the igniting spark that lit the match on the final fight.
And one thing I need to bring your attention back to, Frost almost got eliminated as the first kill of the game. Ronak downs him right off the get-go by himself, and he stays alive to the very end, getting them third place, realizing the placement points are so damn important. But as you guys mentioned, the Tigers coming up big, not afraid to fight. What a well-done job by them.
Yeah. Some people would probably ask, did Frost really need to go for that fight at the end? Did he need to stand up and take that shot? But then again, in the heat of the moment when everything's on the line, you see that guy is like, okay, I can win this on my own. Sometimes adrenaline just takes on over. You can't blame him for going for that fight.
No, not at all.
It's still amazing me to see him almost be dropped out in the beginning. And the fact that they picked him back up, he got Brawlers on the map. Dropping out as potentially at the 16th place. We don't know what would happen if he did die early on, but getting 0 points, getting that goose egg off the bat, and now guaranteeing the points they did get. Phenomenal job by him. One team I do want to talk about, though, we didn't really get to see much of, was Org. Because throughout the zones, up to like zone, I think it was 5, yeah, zone 5, they had the circle the entire time. And they had, I think, no kills for the most part. And then they're forced to transition from Zone 5 to Zone 6, going through a ton of enemy teams where they netted themselves almost absolutely nothing.
I'm going to have to interrupt your point there, Jason, unfortunately, because check out how many kills are on the board. The Indian Tigers, who had 7 before, 13 kills and a win, 43 points overall, but the headline, of course, 16 kills for TeamSouL.
29 points. Sorry, 29 kills with 2 teams.
That's insane.
That is insane.
With 64 players in the lobby, they wiped out pretty much half of them just by themselves.
And I think Indian Tigers have just made a statement with this game. They're like, we're not afraid to fight. We're not afraid to play aggressive. We're not afraid of the big names we're facing off against. If you kind of look at the way it's kind of laid out here, of course, Tigers being number 1 here, I think it's a pretty big surprise, all things considered. But then TeamSouL and, of course, Brawlers should be feeling pretty happy. Insidious, on the other hand, they got to be a little gutted here.
Yeah. Evil Big Fellas, I was surprised to see them go down so early. Of course, Spike with the unfortunate tumble down the cliffside. Not going to be able to get too much done. Coming soon, previously known as, of course, Entity Gaming now, coming out in 12th. Of course, first game of the day. Just getting on board, starting to warm up into the atmosphere that you heard the crowd during that game. They were incredible, just shouting, screaming for their support.
I personally feel when we go into Sandhawk, things are going to get insane. Because looking at Wrangle, I thought it would be a little bit more of a passive approach, but it was so very aggressive from everyone.
And one thing I want to point out really quick, as you can see on the standings, Brawlers, 2 kills. But overall now they're 3rd place. That shows how important placement is. It shows why Frost lasting that long was so impactful for that team.
Yeah, when you get towards the end there, it's going to be so important. On your screens now, Ronak, player for Soul, 7 kills.
1,000 damage.
Huge chunk from the rest of this team as well.
Yeah, one thing I just want to put out to TeamSouL is even though the star player, some people would say, kind of died very early on, they still continue to hold their area. They were able to win those fights all the time. Even at the very end, it never looked like they were out of contention at any point in time, right? So they are definitely deserving favorites, one might say, for this tournament.
For sure. They have got the chops to do it. You can see why out of 11,000 teams, these are the top 16. The quality of play going on here, really, really good. I really enjoyed seeing how they adapted to the terrain, how they moved through it, and how they used those smokes, how they used that pressure. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
And seeing the hillside as well at the end, kind of like a perfect balance between the 2 final teams, with Frost obviously overlooking the entirety of that fight. But was there any team, any player, I want to put you guys on the spot, that really stood out to you over the course of that match that you maybe didn't expect to have that quite of a game?
I say Team India. They were playing the way we kind of expected them to play, but at the same time we were like, when all the pressure's on, are they going to play as aggressively as they played online in the qualifiers and whatnot? And they just came out banging. Yes, they didn't get the best placements. Like, Indian Tigers are obviously the biggest surprise here, but they were hyper aggressive and always keeping the more favored teams like HYDRA and everyone on their toes. And that's what we want to see coming out from more of the other teams who are the underdogs here. Like Indian Tigers, they were taking the fight. They were making things very uncomfortable for the favorites. Will the other teams kind of replicate that? Remains to be seen.
Okay,
I would have to go with, to be fair, in the semi-finals and in the group stages, we didn't really see TeamSouL perform to the level they have just now. I want to see them roll it on, and I think the crowd does too.
All right, well, thank you guys for that amazing first game cast, as well as thank you to the players for an amazing first match as well. We do, unfortunately, have to head to a short break, but when we come back, round 2 is kicking off.